All right, first of all, I want to thank all of y'all that took the time to jump on tonight. You could be anywhere in the world, right? But right now you're here with me. So I want to make sure that I do not waste your time and I can give you valuable information. That's the major thing here, right? Is what let me tell you the three things, right? First, let's start there. There's three things that I want you to be able to walk away with. And number one, I want you to have a sense of clarity, right? I want you to know exactly when I'm talking clarity, I'm talking about in the things that are stopping you from achieving what it is that you say you want. Not anybody else, but the things that you say you want. I want you to have clarity on what your strengths are, and I want you to have clarity on what your weaknesses are. And between these things, right? And then another thing is, I don't want to miss this, but clarity as far as are you really doing the thing that you truly want to do, right? So we're going to dive into these things. And I'm telling you, listen, we're going to be here for about 25 minutes, 30 minutes at the most. So I need you to really make great use of your time. So whatever distractions you have, whether it's your cell phone, whether it's people in your house, like put yourself in a space where you can really concentrate and you can focus. Turn your phone off. Don't just put it on vibrate, turn it off, flip the screen upside down. That way you don't even see when it lights up. All right. So let's jump into this, man. When we're talking about the internal sales game, we're talking about you on a daily basis selling yourself on why you need to have a strong sense of mental toughness, confidence, and self-esteem. You need to like every morning you wake up, you need to remind yourself that my mental toughness has to go up a level, right? My confidence has to go up a level. My self-esteem has to go up a level. If it doesn't, this is what it's going to cost me. And I want you to write that down. Like, what is it going to cost you for having lack of mental toughness, lack of confidence, lack of self-esteem when it comes to your family, your business, your career, right? What is it going to cost you by being short in these three areas? And the reason I need you to remind yourself about that is very simple. If you don't remind yourself at the start of every day, then that means you're leaving room for interruptions, right? You're leaving room for things that come into your life and completely put you in another direction other than the direction that you're looking to go in. So I need you to be very intentional, right? So let's start off here. Let's start off talking about you dominating you, who you are. There's something that you want and you have what it takes to get it. You have to become fully committed. Not interested, right? Not committed, but you have to become fully committed to removing the obstacles that are in your life. And the major one is yourself. You have to stay out of your own way and you have to commit to doing so. All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to write this down, right? If you already have the ebook, great. If you don't, you can go and download it. It should be somewhere around here. The link should be somewhere around there. Or you could just write out the question, whatever's easier for you, right? I do recommend having the ebook in front of you. That way you have it at your disposal at any moment, right? You can pull it out at any moment and you can get to work on it. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to ask yourself, what's stopping you from moving forward? What's stopping you from getting out of your own way? What's stopping you from getting to your desired result? Now, there's a couple ways to look at this, right? So I want to break each one of these ways down. Number one, you have the internal things that are stopping you from achieving what you want. And then you have the external things that are stopping you from achieving what you want. So I want to give you the cheat code to both sides of these things, right? And the cheat code is that your lack of mental toughness, your lack of confidence, and your lack of self-esteem. So when you write down your three things that are internally stopping you from moving forward, I want you to say, so for instance, let's just say, you know what, my disability to read, right? And I'm saying that just because a lot of people like be stunting around here like they're the ultimate readers or the ultimate spellers, right? And that really holds you back. So I'm saying this, and I'm giving you what mine are. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm giving you what mine are. You can put yours, whatever you want them to be, but watch this. If I'm saying that if you write down that your inability to be able to read is stopping you from moving forward, that's one of your internal things that are stopping you, right? Then you can take that and say, okay, I'm saying that I have a problem reading, but really my lack of mental toughness of sitting down and learning how to read, my lack of confidence for me not being the reader that I think I should be, not asking for help because my self-esteem is stopping me from wanting to be laughed at. You see what I'm saying? So no matter what it is you put down internally, I want you to relate it to either your mental toughness, confidence, or self-esteem. And one of these things are lacking, and this is why your inability to read the way you think you should know how to read is stopping you, because you're not studying the way you should be studying, because you're not understanding what you're studying. So really, you need to get help on these things, but you're not getting help because of one of these things: lack of mental toughness, lack of confidence, lack of self-esteem, right? So now let's roll it over to the other side. And when we're talking about your externals, you might say, my family members, right? My family doesn't believe in me. Well, your lack of mental toughness is causing you to give your family too much influence on your life. Your lack of mental toughness is causing you to allow your family to interrupt your life and stop you from going to that next space, right? That next step that you need to take. Your lack of confidence in you being able to tell them, and then you being confident about, listen, I hear what you're saying, but these are things I need to do for me, and I'm going to go and do it whether you like it or not, right? And you just go do. So your lack of confidence is stopping you from being able to push this thing that is external. You're giving it a lot of weight on your life, which is causing your internal to be disrupted, and you're getting away from the fact that all you really need to do is focus on improving your reading. Maybe sitting down, spending more time. So instead of it taking you a minute to read a page, it might take you 20 minutes to read this page. But once you put 20 minutes into this page, the information you get is going to help your confidence to go up, because you're going to be able to execute on another level. So what I want you to do is, when you write down these 3 things that are external, I want you to look at the 3 external things, and I want you to pair it up to see which one of these areas it's affecting: lack of mental toughness, confidence, or self-esteem. And then I want you to draw a line through everything external. And I know you probably like, yeah, why you want me to draw a line through it? You just said to me you wanted me to write these things down. I did, because I wanted you to acknowledge the pain, right, that it's causing you. I want you to acknowledge what these things external that you have no control over. I want you to acknowledge how much you're letting these things disrupt your life. You're letting things that you have no control over hold you back. And the crazy thing is, the people that's external, the environments that's external, right? The things that are external, they don't really care about you. So you're caring more about what external things are saying and doing and influencing on your life than you really care about yourself. So I need you to get a hold of yourself and dominate yourself, and take the things that you feel as though are stopping you from moving forward, and increase your mental toughness in each one of them. Increase your confidence in each one, your self-esteem in each one of them. So if we're looking at all 3 of these things at one time, it can truly become overwhelming, right? And when things become overwhelming, it becomes frustrating. It gets us depressed. It makes us want to quit. We become stagnant. From being stagnant, we just say, you know what? I'm just going to go do something else. Like, this is not the thing that I'm going to do, right? And then we start doing other things, and we move forward until we get challenged again, and then we stop and we go do something else. And every time we run into a challenge, we quit and we start over into something new. And then maybe we go back to what we was doing in the beginning, thinking that something changed. No, nothing changed. I want you to take the 3 things that you wrote down, and I want you to identify which one of these things would be most beneficial if you finish them first. Which one of these 3 things would be the biggest benefit to you once you get it done? Once you identify that, I want you to put that on its own piece of paper. And I want you to just focus on that thing. Don't worry about nothing else, right? Nothing else. Like, just worry about that one thing. All right? And listen, do not move forward. I'm going to go into these other steps real quick, but do not move forward beyond this until you complete that, right? Until you complete this first step, do not move forward. And the reason is if this is incomplete, as you move forward, it's going to make everything else that you do is not going to make sense to you, right? Because you have an incomplete piece. It's like putting together a bookshelf, and in this bookshelf that you put together, you leave out one screw. But that one screw is it's a weight-bearing screw. So as this thing gets filled up and you put more stuff on it, when you got like 5 things, maybe it's not going to matter. But when you got the bookshelf like to 60% capacity, Now it's going to start to lean a little bit. When you get to 70%, it's going to lean some more. By 80, it's going to start to tip, right? By the time you get it to like 90% full, it's going to fall over. And it's the same thing when you start skipping stages, skipping steps in the process of growth. You're going to notice that the more pressure you put on yourself, the more fatigue that kicks in and you really want to retreat, right? So I want to stop that from happening. So don't just go through each one of these pieces and say, okay, yeah, oh, I got a little bit of that done. Let me go to the next one. No, like complete it and then move on, right? Complete it and then move on. So what I'm going to do is those that are on here to the end, I'm going to send you a copy of this recording so you have it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to send you a copy so you can watch it and you can go over it at your leisure when you have time. Why? Because I don't want you to think, oh, I missed something. I don't know what to do now. And you start to just like improvise. You start to come up with your own little pieces. No, you got to follow the process. All right. So let's slide down here to step 2 real quick. Step 2 is I want you to ask yourself, do you truly want what you say you want? Like, do you truly want what it is that you say you want? Now, this you can ask people a question and they'll be like, you know what? I do. Like I really, really want this. Yeah. It's like, yo, why was there a little bit of hesitation in there? Like, and I'm questioning that for the simple fact that when we really want something, we don't even think about it. We're just like, yeah, I want it. Like, you don't even think about what you have to go through to get it, right? Because if you start to think about every little piece that you're going to have to go through to reach the level of success that you want, you think about every little piece, you're going to talk yourself right out of it. I don't care what it is. If you're about to go do something bad and you think about it too long, you're going to talk yourself out of it. If you're going to do something good and you think about it too long, you're going to think yourself right out of it. If you're going to do something great and you think too long, you're going to think yourself right out of it. Why? Because there's so many things you're going to have to go through that are uncomfortable. You're just like, you know what? Yeah, I'll put that off and I'll do it later. So you should not have to think about what it is you like. When you ask yourself, do I truly want this? It should be like, yeah, hell yeah, I want this. Like, hands down, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I want this. And if you have that hesitation, you need to find out why do you have that hesitation? Is it because your lack of confidence that you don't think you'll succeed in doing it, right? Yes, it worked for the other 100 people that did it, but for some reason it's not going to work for me. Like, I don't know. You got to figure that out. But I want you to ask yourself, do I truly want this? And if you hesitate, I need you, like, don't move. Don't go nowhere else. Find out what that hesitation is, right? Why are you hesitating? What are you unsure about? If you say, yeah, hell yeah, I want this, I want you to ask yourself, why? Why do I want this? You always hear people say, yeah, you got to find your why. You got to know why you really want this or why you want that. Why are you living today? Why are you doing this, right? Like, they're always talking to why, but they never really say, yo, listen, this is how you find your why. They don't break that part down to you. So I want you to ask yourself, do I truly want this? And if you say, yeah, hell yeah, I want it, I want you to say, why do I want it? Right? So let me give you an example. I want to make this like to where it's so easy to understand. When I look at it, do I want this business that I'm in? Do I want this business to work? Hell yeah, I want it to work, right? Why do I want it to work? Because I want to make sure that every morning I wake up, I can have breakfast with my wife. Every afternoon, I can have lunch with my wife. Every night, I can have dinner with my wife. When my daughter goes to school, I can drop my daughter off to school. I can pick my daughter up from school. When she has an event at school, I don't have to miss any events. I don't have to worry about, I don't know if I can go to this one or if I can go to this one. I know that I can be at all the events and I can be there. When I look at my son and I see my son growing up, do I want to be the person that my son looks at and he's like, yo, at minimum, I got to operate like my dad operates. As at minimum, like, yo, that's my guy, right? But then I want to be better than him. So I got to be somebody who can make sure that these things fall into place. And it just so happens to be that by me fighting to get to the reason I'm doing what I'm doing, right? The why of what I'm doing, I have to create revenue. The revenue gives me the option. So I'm not looking for the revenue. I'm really after the options. The revenue just allows me to have the options, right? So you got to ask yourself, do I truly want this thing? Yeah, hell yeah, I want it. Why do you want it? Break that thing down on why you want it. Once you do that, I want you to ask yourself, what are the benefits of me achieving these things, right? So what's the benefits of me having breakfast, lunch, and dinner with my wife every day? What's the benefits of me being able to make sure that I can go to all my daughter's events? I can pick my daughter up from school. I can drop my daughter off at school. What's the benefits of being the man, right? Being a man that my son can look up to and say, yo, like if I can get that, I'm good, but I want better than that. Like, what's the benefits? And list the benefits of them things. And then I want you to look at yourself and I want you to ask yourself, and when you do this, the best way to really do this exercise is to look in the mirror, because you got to look at you. You're not building anybody else. You're building you, right? Everything you do is to build you, to make sure that you have the mental toughness that it takes. You have the confidence and you have the self-esteem to follow these things through and really develop, right? Really grow and develop. You will never master mental toughness. You will never master confidence. You will never master self-esteem. But what you can do is you can master the processes that will allow you to continuously develop new levels of mental toughness, confidence, and self-esteem, right? So I want to make sure that I'm that person that they look up to. So I need you to look in the mirror, write these things down, and identify, like, what is it for you? What are the consequences? What are the benefits? And once you get these things down, watch this. Watch how simple this is. You ask yourself, do I want the benefits or do I want the consequences? Which one of these do I want? And if you say I want the consequences, like, listen, you need to go do something else with your life. You know what I'm saying? Go kick rocks barefoot. I don't know, but you need to do something different. If you say I want the benefits, then that means you have to adjust your actions. You have to adjust your habits so that your actions and your habits are in alignment to get you the benefits that you want, so that they can take care of the things you want them to take care of. And now you know what your why is, and you know how to continuously develop your why, and you know how to find your why. This is the same thing as if we're looking at, if we're looking at our family. Yep, why do I want my family to be this way? And we're going to do it the same way. Why? What's the benefits? What's the consequences? Which one do I want? Cool, I want the benefits. Let me build this. Nah, I really don't care. Yo, maybe your family will be better without you. Like, I'm not telling you to leave, but I'm just saying to you, you got to understand that sometimes you being there can be a disruption. Sometimes you being in the career that you want to be in can be a disruption if you really don't want to be there. So you follow that same process for your career. Do I want the benefits or do I want the consequences? It's yes or no. Do I want this business or do I want the benefits of this business or the consequence? Yes or no, right? Stop overcomplicating this thing, right? Now watch this. When we're looking at this first step that we went over, your internals and your externals, when you get down to do you want this, if you don't truly want your internals, if you don't know what your internals are, then you can't say I want this, because you don't know what you want, right? You don't know what you want, so it's important to do that part first. And then now when we go down to this third piece, where I want you, and I'm going to put these two together, I'm going to merge these two together. And here we're talking about very, very basic, right? This is very basic, but it's very powerful all at the same time. So the number 3 is understanding your strengths and your weaknesses. If you do not understand your strengths and your weaknesses, that your mental toughness, confidence, and self-esteem cannot develop, cannot grow, right? But they can decrease, and they will decrease. All areas, all 3 of them will decrease if you do not understand this area here. So I want you to write down your top 3 strengths, and I want you to write down your top 3 weaknesses. And what I want you to do here is I want you to draw a circle in the middle of your paper, right? I want you to grab a piece of paper and I want you to draw a circle. In this circle, I want you to put 4 chairs around it. And the reason it's a circle is because there's no head. There's no head of the table, right? Everything is equal. It's all even all the way around this circle. So the 4 chairs you put, right, one at the bottom, one on the north side, one on the west side, east side, and south side. Well, it should have really been north. You got me though, right? You're gonna put the chairs around there, and in one of the chairs, I want you to put your name. Your name goes in one of the chairs. The other chairs, I want you to write your strength in front of each chair at that table, right? So each one of them chairs get one of your strengths. And in the center of the table, I want you to write your 3 weaknesses. And then I want you to look at the people that are in your immediate circle, the ones that you constantly communicate. It could be a family member. It can be a friend of 30 years. It can be a friend of 1 week, right? Whatever it is, I want you to write down, put a person in each one of them chairs that has a weakness that your strength will benefit. Because I want you to understand what it means to become a giver, right? I want you to understand how important it is for you to give. Stop looking for someone to give you. Like, I'm not going to give them nothing. They never did nothing for me. Why am I going to do this for them? That's backwards thinking. I want you to think ahead. And when you're thinking ahead, that means you're saying, how can I be a blessing to you? Whether you can bless me or not, I'm not really concerned with that right now. I want to know, can I bless you? What can I give you to help make your life better, help make your life easier, to help move you forward, right? So each one of these shares, I want you to put one of your strengths, your weaknesses, your 3 weaknesses are in the middle. You're looking at the people that you're constantly in communication with, and I want you to identify a weakness that they have that your strength can be a benefit to them. And you put them at that chair, and you go around the whole table and do the same process. And then I want you to look at the people you put in them chairs, and I want you to ask yourself which one of them have a strength that can be a benefit to your weakness. When you identify the ones that have a strength that can benefit your weakness, you put your weakness in front of them. So now you're blessing them, they're blessing you, right? That's a great relationship. It's not a relationship of we're just going to get together and he and ha and we're going to laugh all the time. No, we're going to get together and I'm going to help you to make yourself better so you can benefit your family, benefit yourself in a way you never seen possible. You're going to help me to benefit myself and benefit my family in a way I never seen possible. Now we got a great relationship. Do that around your whole table. Now this is where that mental toughness, confidence, and self-esteem come in. Because you sit that person there does not mean that that is their place. Does not mean that they can stay there. Maybe you misjudged. Maybe you can't be a benefit to them, but they're a benefit for you. You got to remove them from the table. Because if they're always giving you and you're not giving them, there's going to be some type of animosity. There's going to be some type of tension that comes in because they're going to say, I'm always giving you and you're not giving me. And it's going to bring stress to you down the line, and it's going to bring stress to them down the line. That's backwards, right? That's not what we're looking to do. It doesn't mean that in the future, this relationship doesn't come back full circle. So we're not looking to say, hey, you're no benefit to me. Get out of here. Like, that's not what we're here to do. We're here to put the right people around us and have the right people that we put around us be able to bless each other, right? So you have to be mentally tough enough to say, okay, yeah, we've been friends for a long time. We grew up together, but I can't have this person at my table where I'm discussing things every day. I can't have this person calling me up and saying, hey, let me pick your brain. Like, you picking my brain so much, like it hurts. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're really picking my brain where it hurts. So when you put the right people at this table, let me show you how easy your life gets. When they call you up and they need something from you, they're asking you something based on your strength. If it's your strength, it's something that you don't really have to think about. So now when they call you up and they have a question and it's in your lane, you're like, oh no, just do this, and that. Yep, and you should be good from there. All right, I'll talk to you later. Done. You don't even have to think about it. You're not racking your brain like, I don't know, let me look it up. You're not doing that. Why? Because they're only asking you about your strength. And when you call them, you're asking them about their strength because you're weak somewhere and they're giving it to you quick. They don't even have to think about it. Now it becomes a relationship to where when I'm stuck and it's something you can help with, you help me quick, you move on with life. I'm not a burden to you. You're not a burden to me, right? So neither one of us are burdened, neither one of us are draining, but we're both benefiting each other. That's a great relationship. So what happens when you have your whole table working like that? And then you say, hold on, I got some other weaknesses that I ain't even know about. Now you can add another chair to your table, but you got to follow this same process. Now watch this. Because these people are calling you and asking you questions that's based on your strength, your confidence is going through the roof because every time they call you and you hit them with the answer and they're like, yo, thanks, that really helped, that worked. You're like, oh my God, like, yo, the people I'm helping, they're really benefiting from this. That means when I'm going out and talking to new clients, I'm talking to new companies, I'm talking to new individuals, like, I know this works because I'm giving it to the people at my table and I'm watching them really grow from it. So now your confidence is going to start to go through the roof. Your mental toughness of you being able to hang in, right, and remove people people and put people at the table that belong at the table, that belong in your life, and you belong in their life, you're like, yo, I don't feel bad about removing nobody from my life, because I know when I remove the right people and put the right people in, I get the results that I'm looking for, and I give the results that others are looking for. So now what happens is, we're just a blessing to each other 360. And we keep growing this table and growing this table and growing this table. I'm telling you, listen, man, if you follow these 3 steps, and remember, do not go from one step to the next step and to the next step if you have not completed the step before. You will be doing yourself an injustice. All right. So listen, I told you we're going to be here for like 25 minutes, 30 minutes. We're just at that 30-minute mark. So I want to keep it here as much as I want to keep going on, and I got more that I want to share, but I said I'm going to stick with this time. So I'm truly going to stick with this time, and I'm going to send this video out to everybody that jumped on, so you will have it. And also everyone that jumped on, like I said, I'm going to open it up to where you can jump on the call for the month of January. We had the first call today. Every Saturday, every Monday, every Wednesday. Do not miss the calls. On Saturday, we're gonna talk about what was that past week like. You know, what is it? Where did we drop the ball? Where did we dominate? And how could we take this into the new week based on the things we dominated and the things we dropped the ball in? Because we want to make sure that we don't continuously drop the ball in the same places over and over, because that's something that will definitely destroy your mental toughness, confidence, and self-esteem. And we want to make sure that where you dominated in, we're able to increase your dominance, right, by a percentage or 2, so you're continuously growing. And then on Monday, we're strictly focusing on sales and marketing, right? How do we get ourselves out there? How do we, once we get ourselves out there and we get people to us, how do we get people to say yes? How do we become so attractive to people that we don't even need to ask anymore? They're just clicking the button and they're just signing up, and they're hitting us up like, hey, I want to join. I need this, right? So and then on Wednesdays, we're going to focus on accountability, right? Where are we? Are we on track? Why are we not on track? Oh, we're ahead of schedule. How do we get further ahead of schedule? Let's go ahead and set the bar even higher, right? So that accountability, there's things that we say we want to accomplish. So we definitely want to make sure that we do our part to help you accomplish the things that you say you want to accomplish. All right. So again, I appreciate y'all jumping on with me tonight, and I'm going to make sure you get a copy of this. And do not forget, if you didn't grab the ebook, go get it. Like, it makes this thing a whole lot easier. All right. One step at a time. Keep doing the things that you hate to do, right? Go do it until you feel like doing it. And remember, life doesn't begin until after you've done all you can, right? After you've done all you can, that's when your life really begins. So let's focus on that. Let's focus on getting to the point that we're ready to give up, but we push past that point, and let's really see what life has to offer. All right, I'll see y'all on the next one.